Let's get into SDE, or seller's discretionary earnings. This is one of the most common metrics used to measure the cash flow of a small business. It's similar to EBITDA, which stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Both of the calculations of SDE and EBITDA involve taking the net income and then adding back certain expenses. For both SDE and EBITDA, you're adding back interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, one-time expenses, and discretionary spending. With SDE, you're also adding back the owner's salary. The reason both of these numbers are important is that by using SDE or EBITDA over the net income of a business, you'll have a more realistic comparison of two businesses, and you'll have a more realistic understanding of what the financial picture of a business would be like with you as the new owner. For example, interest payments. If you're looking at a business to buy and there is a loan on that business, whether it's an SBA loan, an equipment loan, or some other type of debt, you're going to see interest payments listed as an expense and lowering the net income. But the thing is, when you buy a business, you're most of the time buying it debt-free. So that specific interest payment wouldn't apply to you. You're going to have your own debt payment on the business. You're going to have your own terms and your own interest payment. So you want to add back that interest payment to the net income as part of getting to your SDE or EBITDA number, so you have a more accurate idea of the financials. SDE and EBITDA are typically what a business's valuation is based off, a multiple of one of these numbers, usually between a 3 to 5x. SDE is a more common metric used with smaller size businesses. So for example, if you see someone selling their business and they have a 500K SDE and they're valuing it at a 4x multiple, then they're selling their business for $2 million. What's really important to understand when you're evaluating a business is how did the seller or broker arrive at this SDE or EBITDA number? Oftentimes they'll provide you with a spreadsheet that shows all of the revenue, all of the expenses, the net income, and then the items that they added back to get to their SDE or EBITDA number. Sometimes you'll also see the phrases adjusted SDE or adjusted EBITDA or adjusted cash flow. These usually mean the same thing, the net income plus some add backs to get us to a more useful metric for evaluating this business. Now, this is where I see a lot of variance in the SBA world is what add backs lenders will find acceptable. For example, some lenders, as part of an SDE calculation, will add back the entirety of an owner's salary. Some lenders won't add that back. Some lenders will add part of that back. Some lenders will add an entire depreciation cost back. Some lenders will only add back a percentage. So things can get a little complicated here. And if you're looking at a deal that's heavy on add backs, it's really important to find a lender that can work with those add backs. This is a lot of the work that I do with clients, is helping them understand, how are we arriving at this SDE number? Is this a calculation that a lender can get behind? And which lender is going to be the best fit based on how we're analyzing this cash flow? So if you've got a deal that you're interested in, if you've got a business you're interested in buying, let's have a conversation about that and see which lender is going to be the right fit for your deal.